Hello everyone, welcome back again to Liverpool Report today. We've got the latest updates on our beloved club Liverpool, but before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of Liverpool Report news. Let's get started. Arneslot's newly crowned champions were given a guard of honour before kick-off, but that is where the respect ended. Chelsea were hell-bent on taking advantage of a much-changed Liverpool lineup, who were well below their best at Stamford Bridge. Liverpool had certainly earned the right to party and celebrate their success after clinching their 20th title at Anfield last week. The Reds were handing out gifts all over the pitch with an own goal and an injury time penalty for Cole Palmer to end his 19-game drought. That probably brought the biggest cheer from the home fans as they rolled over the champions with relative ease. And even the travelling fans in the away end were so busy singing about titles that they did not seem to be too worried about what happened on the pitch. With the title already in the bag, Liverpool boss Slot does not owe anyone any favours, but Chelsea were certainly given a big one because the victory is a huge boost for their chances of securing a Champions League spot. It was all too easy for Chelsea, who started on the front foot. Enzo Fernandez's third-minute opener was the fastest goal at Stamford Bridge since 2017, and they never looked back. Chelsea defended well. They only briefly wobbled after Virgil van Dijk's late consolation, but even that came too late to save the visitors. Chelsea's second goal, courtesy of a bizarre own goal off Jarell Quansah, just summed it all up as Liverpool were guilty of some comical defending. The only sour note for Chelsea was Nicholas Jackson, who looked very unhappy at being substituted, but that felt like a small footnote by the end. They now look well capable of snatching a place in the top 5. The Liverpool fans, who battled their way to London despite chaos on the trains and tubes, were still singing, dancing and taunting until the end, as if it did not matter much anyway. "You should have signed for the champions," they sang at Romeo Lavia as they taunted the Chelsea midfielder, who chose Stamford Bridge over Anfield a couple of years ago. Nothing much bothered them, and you can understand why. What a season they have enjoyed. Slot had promised to give everything until the end, but they were below their best, and Chelsea were bang at it. Slot also probably owed it to a few squad players to give them a go. Chelsea set the tone after just 3 minutes when Palmer spread a clever ball wide to Pedro Neto, wide on the right, who was given time and space to pick out a teammate in the penalty box. In rushed Fernandez, and the Chelsea captain had time, space and the composure to pick his shot and fire past Liverpool keeper Alisson and into the far corner. It was a dream start for Chelsea, and they rarely looked back. Liverpool were off colour as even Mo Salah could not find his touch. Even he looked miles off. Chelsea were given breathing space after 56 minutes, with Palmer heavily involved in the build-up as the England star's low cross caused chaos in the Liverpool box. Van Dijk went to clear, but only ended up hammering the ball against fellow defender Quansah, and it cannoned past Liverpool keeper Alisson for Chelsea's rather comical second goal. Liverpool pulled one back when Van Dijk headed in Alexis Mac Allister's corner, but then the game got even worse for Quansah as he gifted Chelsea a penalty with a clumsy trip on Moises Caicedo and an open invitation to Palmer end his drought. Palmer stepped up and stroked it into the corner to complete the win. Arne Slot revealed Ryan Gravenberch was injury-free, despite his absence from Liverpool's squad, as he instead looked to allow Federicochiesa to earn a Premier League medal. The Italian winger is one appearance short of being automatically entitled to the honour following Liverpool's title win. Chiesa was only among the substitutes, however, as Slot made the changes to his starting lineup that he promised after becoming a league champion in his first season with the club. The likes of Curtisjones, Wataru Endo and Harveyelliott started against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge as Slot made 6 changes. Despite not offering Chiesa a start, Slot was adamant that his charge would get some minutes in the coming games. Asked about injuries amid Gravenberch's absence, the Reds boss simply said someone had to miss out and he would look to get Chiesa over the line. He's Chiesa on 4 games, and I heard in this country you need 5 games to get a medal, so he will definitely be on the pitch in the next 4 games, if not all of the next 4 games, he said. Liverpool will be handed 40 silver medals by the Premier League to dish out among their squad and staff after an impressive 2024/25. Any player who makes at least 5 Premier League appearances during the season becomes automatically entitled to one. the Premier League champions, have 21 members of their squad who currently fit that criteria. Chiesa remains 1 game short after making 4 substitute appearances, but there remains time to hit that mark. For now, that leaves 19 medals for the club to distribute. Additional medals can be sought, however, but the consent of the Premier League board is required. It will only be granted if more than 39 players have fulfilled the 5 Premier League appearances criteria. Vítězslav Jaros and Jadon Danz are the other players to have made outings in the top flight this season, and to remain short of the mark. With just 1 substitute appearance each, they will not automatically qualify. There will be opportunities in the final games, however. Slot revealed he would be assessing where players are at ahead of next season. It is not going to be a big change. There's not going to be 7 or 8 new starters, he said. It's going to be mostly the same, and seeing how a few players do in a difficult game like Chelsea away, and where they are in their development. Darwin Nunez has issued a cheeky apology to Mohamed Salah after hijacking his Liverpool teammate's phone. The pair, recently crowned as Premier League champions, have been celebrating throughout the past week, and it appears that the feel-good factor extends to both Salah and Nunez having a bit of fun on social media. The Egyptian forward took to his Instagram story on Friday with an image of his camera roll. Within it, there were near countless photos of Nunez, who had clearly taken the opportunity to take a few snaps while Salah's phone was unattended. Even captain Virgil van Dijk featured, having been spotted in the background of a few of the photos. Nunez then posted a cheeky response to Salah leaking the photos, as he wrote, "Sorry, bro." Nunez will certainly hope that he does not have to issue any further apologies this weekend. The Uruguayan could potentially be handed a chance to impress against Chelsea on Sunday, with the title having already been wrapped up. Boss Arneslot said, "This is a moment to see where they are, also looking towards next season maybe a bit already, but definitely also because they deserve to play this season. I don't think these players have to prove the quality players they are, but I think they want to prove, themselves, that they are good enough to play for us. I already know that they are, and probably they themselves know this as well. I don't think they have a point to prove, but I do think they would like to play." Nunez, 25, has only started 8 games for Liverpool in the Premier League this season. It was previously claimed that his opportunities were limited due to a clause in his deal, meaning Liverpool would have to pay his former side Benfica a further add-on. But Slot has spoken out, suggesting that is simply not the case. He said, "Do you always believe what journalists say? Not always? Me neither. Sometimes you should, but sometimes it's better not to believe everything that is written about players. This is completely new to me, and I've said many times that I'm working at a club here where it's really nice to work. So mainly sporting directors are judged by the players they bring in. For me, it's very important to have a great working environment, and I have that with Richard Hughes." The last thing he would do, as I expect working with him for 10 months, is tell me, "If you play him, it would cost us this much." That he would never do. I don't even know if it's true, yes or no, because we never talk about that. He never interferes with a lineup. It might be true, but if a journalist says it, we have to take it with a pinch of salt. When Chelsea's fresh-faced squad assembles to create a congratulatory guard of honour for Liverpool on Sunday, they'll be staring at a pantheon of Premier League greats. Virgil van Dijk, free-scoring record breaker Mohamed Salah, Alisson, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson are the indispensable serial-winning core that have put the Reds back upon their perch. Their achievements and stature should also provide Chelsea with a timely reminder of precisely what Enzo Maresca's ambitious project is still missing: experience and know-how of the highest quality. Under the Clear Lake Capital regime, the big spending Blues have signed young, exciting prospects in droves, and while they're now on the cusp of securing the return of Champions League football, Chelsea are still lacking the mettle, guile, grit and wisdom required to compete for the biggest prizes. Club sources have refused to disclose whether there is an official under-25 transfer policy in place at Stamford Bridge, but given the Blues were willing to make a play for Van Dijk, had he not agreed a contract extension at Anfield, there now appears to be a degree of flexibility on the profiles of potential arrivals. Although it was perhaps fanciful to consider the imperious Dutchman swapping Liverpool red for Chelsea blue, a leader of the 33-year-old's ilk and calibre has been missing since the departure of Thiago Silva last June. Furthermore, there is also an argument that despite spending over £1.2 billion on transfers since the arrival of Todd Boehly, Chelsea are still yet to acquire a world-class goalkeeper, central defender or striker, burning issues that must finally be addressed this summer. Slowly but surely, Maresca has crafted a spine that is capable of being built around, but if Chelsea are to make the next steps in their development, they need a series of difference makers like Liverpool that can elevate the level of the entire team. Prodigies that are likely to explode in the future remain valuable assets, but the Blues already have enough of those Brazilian wonderkid Estevão, Dario Esugo and Kendry Paes officially sign in this summer. And Maresca has recently indicated amid fan unrest that he will strive to recruit some much-needed experience to aid his pursuit of silverware. The Italian said last week, "We are not just young, we are the youngest team in the Premier League and the second in European football. Look at the games against Brighton away and see our bench. We have 3 players that were born in 2006. I don't remember years ago, for instance, when Didier Drogba was here and the manager changed Drogba, who was on the bench. Fernando Torres? I don't know. I don't remember. Now we change Nico Jackson with 2006, Tyreek George from the academy. You see that? I see that. If Liverpool currently represent the benchmark, it's clear forward-thinking Chelsea have to make key changes to bridge the gap at the top of the Premier League. Supporters want to see improvement, and so far, Clearlake Capital's vision appears to be some distance away from bearing fruit, given their long-running pursuit of Champions League football looks destined to go to the wire.